Okay, everybody, this is going to be the start of part 2 on the Batman bust here I got from Printz. Over the weekend I worked on his chest and his utility belt. Then I applied a few coats of flat clear. It turned out pretty good. Now I'm going to be working on the bat symbol on his upper chest there. I have to cover and remask the area, and I'm going to hit it with the Tamiya flat yellow. And then I'll do the bat symbol. I'm going to have to paint that by hand with flat black. And it's looking pretty good. I'll double check his eyes and his face to make sure everything looks good. I'll have to cover that up, his eyes and his face, with some silly putty. And then I'll get around to getting, once the symbol's done, hitting his cowl and his cape with the rubber black. I noticed there's like a little dimple. Didn't notice it before. Right there, you can see it. I can point it out. Right there. Now I can clean this area up. Put a little Bondo or something in there to clean that up. That'll throw me back a little bit and getting this done, but not sure yet. I might just let that go. It's not that noticeable. I'll figure that out when I get around to that part of it. But other than that, this is the only flaw I see in the print, is that little dimple, little like crater right there. Other than that, I think it's a good print of Batman. It looks good. From the distance you can see a little bit of it. So I'll decide that here and figure out what I might do to clean that up. But at least his chest and his utility belt are done. It looks pretty cool. His face don't look too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and pause here and figure out maybe what I'll do with his cape, or get him ready for taking care of his symbol right there on his upper chest. So I'll go ahead and pause for now, and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, another update on Batman. Been working on him off and on. I just finished his symbol right there. Turned out pretty good. His chest piece and his utility belt, I did hit it with a couple coats of flat clear. The Tamiya flat clear. I don't have a can, but that's what I used, and it seemed to work fine on the two different paints, because the flat black is Tamiya and the utility belt is Model Masters Reefer Yellow. I got it right here. I showed it in the previous video. Numbers right there. Probably still can get that paint. Then I worked on his symbol, and I used airbrushed flat yellow XF3. And then all my flat blacks, I got some right here, I think. XF1 Tamiya, I got mixed for the airbrush, and that would have went on his bat. I would have had to done it over and over again to get it to look good, and then it would be tricky to do because it's thinned out. So I decided to use Tamiya X1 black, and I only had to apply it once onto the bat, and it turned out perfect. And when I go over that with flat clear, it'll bring that down. But it looks pretty good. I mean, you can see it's the bat is a little shiny there, which looks good. But once I hit it with a flat clear, it'll bring that down. And then his face looks pretty good. I'm not going to do anything else to it. I'm going to have to cover that up with some silly putty, because after I get this symbol with a flat clear coat, probably one or two coats would do it, then I can mask off all this his face and eyes, and then get the final paint on his cowl and cape, which is I'm going to use rubber black XF85, and that's gonna look good. And that's what I'm going to use. And that's the colors that I've used on Batman here. It's a 6-inch bust, and you get it from the UK. I've put it on my videos before. They still have them available. This is from the '89 Batman movie, and they have the '92 one of Batman. The only difference is the chest piece, and we'll eventually pick that up. But I figured I'd share this with everybody. I'm almost done with Batman. I'll have to mask this area off here today and hit it with a couple coats of flat clear, and then all this will be finished, and then I can move on getting ready to do the cowl and the cape. So I'll go ahead and pause for now and talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, another update on Batman. This is 4th of July weekend. This is Sunday, July 3rd, down in my hobby room, and I'm going to start working on Batman. I'm going to be finishing him up today. I worked on him yesterday, put some silly putty on his eyes and his face, you can see here. I'm going to double check it to make sure I got it, the putty where it belongs, so when I apply the rubber black, it's going to cover everything up. There's certain things I'll probably do off camera and then film the rest of the paint that I'm going to do on his cowl and his cape on camera. I can point it out there. You can see down inside where his cape meets his chest. I'm going to have to do that off camera. It's going to be a little tedious to get down in there and paint that and then do the rest of the cape. And I'll have to do that on both sides. But his chest piece and his utility belt and his symbol is all done and clear coat. So I'll just have to mask that off. I'll mask off his symbol here, and then I'll do the same with his chest piece and his utility belt. I'm going to do that with Tamiya tape, just because the silly putty's nice to work with, but I got to get right down inside there and make sure I get it as close as possible to his cape, and then hit it with the rubber black. Rubber black I'm using is the Tamiya, and it's XF85. I think it's going to really look good. It's going to make it pop with the flat black for his chest and utility belt and his symbol. So that's going to really look good. I do have a new airbrush. Should have brought it over here. See if I can grab it. I will be using my new airbrush on his cape. I picked this up a couple weeks ago, and it's the PS771. You can see here. Have not broke it in yet. I will today on his cape. It's a 0.18 millimeter needle tip, and I'm going to go ahead and use that. I did buy it for figure kits and some artwork that I do on the side, just because of the size of the needle. I have the CMC Plus from Iwata. It's a 0.24 millimeter needle tip, I think. So this is much smaller. But I think to get inside where I need to airbrush inside, kind of hard to point it out. But like I showed you, it's going to be a little tricky getting in there. But with this new brush, I shouldn't have no problem to do that. And then the rest of it should be pretty easy. But that's what I got on my bench today. I'll be starting here shortly on masking this area off. I'll double check his face and his eyes to make sure that silly putty is where it should be, and then when I paint his cowl, it's going to really look good. And once I get that all done, it shouldn't take long to get it painted. So I'll go ahead and pause for now and talk with everybody later. Alright, back on Batman. I'm going to try to film this, see how it turns out. Got my new brush right here. I got the PSI under 20, and I'm going to try to get in the areas I need to get in with this, and then I'll pause the camera and finish them up. I'll get this area first, and then I'll focus on his face. And hopefully I can get this all on camera. Zoom in a little bit. And let's give it a go here. I don't know if I got that on camera or not, but it's looking really good. Not looking too bad. Let's get his around his face. Hopefully I'm getting this all on camera, guys. This brush is awesome. He's looking more and more like Batman. I like the color. Well, hopefully that was all on camera. He's really looking good. I like the color, the rubber black. I'll go ahead and pause, set this up, and finish it on camera. I want to get the rest of Batman, but I don't want my hand to be in the way, so let me go ahead and pause, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, back on Batman. I'm going to finish him up. far it's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Almost done here, guys. Sorry I'm not talking much. I'm staying focused here. This new brush, I really like it. It's really does a fine job. Alright guys, hopefully that was all on camera. That rubber black really looks good on his cowl and his cape. I'm going to go ahead and pause and do any touch-ups, and I'll show the end results. So I'll be right back. Alright everybody, final update on Batman. Finally finished him yesterday, and today is Tuesday, July 12th. Touched up his face yesterday, and I finished finally with that and touching up his eyes, and then I did the final flat clear coat. And I must say, this 3D print of the '89 Batman movie with Michael Keaton is one awesome print to pick up. I'll post that on video here when I put it up on my YouTube channel. I should have time today to put this up on my YouTube channel. I used all Tamiya acrylics, and for his utility belt I used Model Masters Reefer Yellow. I'll bring all the paints and everything up here on my workbench once I'm done letting everybody take a look at Batman. I'll go ahead and turn on the table here so everybody can get a good look at him. I think it looks awesome. I'm no artist. All I can do is my best, and I think he turned out pretty cool. As you can see here, he looks really good. I did post this on pictures on this on Facebook, and a lot of people asked me where I picked it up, and I told them where I got it. It's out of the UK. And I think the prints are still available. There is a 92 Batman print too at that site that I want to pick up. The only difference between the two costumes is his chest piece, but looks really good. I like how Batman turned out. Took me a couple weeks to do this, and taking my time at it, turned out really good. So I figured I'd do a final cut on this work that I've done on Batman. It's been a couple weeks since I posted from the first part of this, but he's done. Turned out really good. The stand, I used Res Gray Primer like I did on Batman. Then I went over the base with dark gray, and then I highlighted, and the shadow areas I used flat black. He's not mounted on the stand yet. I'm thinking about either doing that or just not have it attached to him, but I don't know. I mean, can't really say I can put them on another base or a stand, so I may just go ahead and use 5-minute epoxy and glue the stand on. Other than that, if you get the print, you can either use the stand it comes with or put it on Batman on something else. But I just wanted to show everybody it's a cool print. Pick one up if you don't have it. You can follow my lead if you like on the colors I chose to use on Batman, because he did turn out pretty cool. I'll go ahead and pause for now, put all the paints up on my workbench, show that, and I'll wrap this up. I'll be right back. Okay, back on the paints that I used. The Model Masters, it's acrylic Reefer Yellow. You can see right here. And the number is looks like 4879. If you don't have it, I'm sure you could probably pick it up, but I use this on his utility belt. His chest, I used flat black right here, Tamiya flat black XF1. His symbol, I used Tamiya flat yellow, which is XF3. The stand, like I told you, I used dark gray, which is XF24. And also went over it with the flat black. His cowl and cape, I used rubber black, which is XF85. And then the bat on his symbol there, I just went straight out with a brush. I used black X1, it's gloss. Then his face and eyes, I did go over the Res Gray Primer with the white primer. And then I went over it with the Res Flat or Light Flesh. And I used some oils. But then I went over it with the final Light Flesh. And that's everything I used on Batman right here. If you have it in your stock, if you pick this 3D print up, that's great. You can follow my lead, or you can go with the color, the paints of your choice. But that's what I used. And then back on Batman, great print. Pick one up if you don't have it. Pick both of them up if you don't have either one of them. I'm going to call this a wrap on Batman. I'd like to thank all my YouTube subscribers. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Be safe out there, and I'll talk with everybody later.